To another video. In today's video, I'm going to be teaching you how to create this look right here. I actually did this look today on Instagram Live. Well, I started the look, I did like the top portion of the eye. Of course, not the lower lash line because I didn't do my complexion on Instagram Live because I obviously wanted to film it. So for those of you who weren't able to make the live and you still are going to want to see how I achieved this look when I post the photos on Instagram, then there's a tutorial right here for you to learn how to do this look. It's so beautiful. The colors are so unique, and I was a little bit sketched when it came to the colors, but you know what? It worked out and I am absolutely obsessed. So with that being said, if you guys are not following me on Instagram, I highly recommend it. So I'm super excited for today's look. Like I said, I love the colors. You guys know I love me some color, and the pink on the lid is so pretty. That's really the color that really stands out for me for today's look, and it's just so beautiful. So we're gonna go ahead and jump in to today's look. Before we do, please don't forget to give this video a huge thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and to follow me on Instagram and follow me on TikTok. And without further ado, if you would like to see how to create this look right here, then just keep guys. So we're getting started with this voiceover. I was not going to upload this video, to be honest, because I lost a lot of the footage. I was able to recover some, but not all of it. So that's why today's tutorial is pretty short. But if you caught me on Instagram Live, you already seen this look, but just in case you wanted to have a video to refer back to, here it is. So I'm using the Love Tahiti palette and the Carnival XL Pro as well. So you guys saw I started off with that beautiful orange, and to sandwich in between the orange, I wanted to go in with pink. It definitely doesn't make a huge difference, but when you look at the look up close, you could definitely see the contrast of color, and I am obsessed. So I did the orange on the outer part and the inner part of the eye, and the pink right in the center. If you guys hear like a little bell, that is Lulu's collar. She is walking around instead of staying still, so I apologize. But I basically just went in after that with lighter shades of each color. So a lighter orange to blend out the darker orange, a lighter pink to blend out the darker pink. And you should come up with a blend like this. Now take your time with this, but don't worry about it too much because you're going to be adding a really intense color, which is black. Now here's where things get a little messy and a little crazy, and at this point this is where you really just want to make sure that you're keeping that black eyeshadow as precise as possible, because this whole look could just go left. So once you go ahead and lay down the black in the shape that you like, I'm going to go in with a red eyeshadow. This specific shade is called Blaze, as you guys can see, and this is the color that I'm going to use to blend out the edges of the black eyeshadow, so that way it kind of turns into like a deep orange, but it's not an orange. You guys saw me apply the black eyeshadow, but this is my little trick when I want to add depth or definition to an eye look. Never be afraid of black eyeshadow. I promise you, you can always make it work like 90% of the time. So once I was happy with the blend, I'm gonna go in with a Q-tip and some micellar water. This look is pretty old at this point, so I currently have been using the P. Louise Cut Crease Carver. I can't wait for you guys to see it in action in my upcoming tutorials, but for now we're still doing the micellar water and the Q-tip, and look at that blend. For my lid, this is one of my favorite shadows in my entire collection. This is the Glam Light Ice Cream Dream palette. Every time I talk about this palette, I tell you, in my opinion, this is the best palette they've ever dropped, ever launched. It's just amazing. The formula is out of this world, and look at this pink. Like, this pink on the lid made the whole entire look. It's so beautiful and so vibrant, and I just took a little bit of a detail brush to make sure I don't mess up that crease work. And then for the outer corner, this was getting crazy. Okay, I was on Instagram Live with you guys, like, these girls are about to think like, what is she doing? Like, does she actually know how to do makeup? But it ended up working out. So I went in with blue first, then I went in with purple, then I added some green, and then this kind of like lime chartreuse color. And listen, I just kept applying and applying and applying and kept blending until they all kind of sandwiched together, and it worked out because it's definitely something super different and super unique, but it looks gorgeous. So I added some black liner to the lash line and then took a black eyeshadow and just smudged it out, and then I I went over top of that with some of the blue eyeshadow because I didn't want to have that super stark line of black, like smoked out liner. I wasn't going for that look. So you guys can see here, I took that dark blue and I just smudged that out. So moving on to the face makeup, I'm going in with the Dominique Cosmetics. This is their Serum Primer. Really nice primer. It helps blur the skin and it's really great if you have super dry skin. I absolutely love it. Also, my skin was freaking out this day. For foundation, you guys, I'm gonna just bite the bullet and buy this foundation. I did tell you guys a story that I bought this. It was at a discounted price, but that was because it was expiring in 2 months. So it is expired. I have officially thrown it out, but it is such a good foundation. It's the YSL All Hours. For a cream bronzer, I decided to try out a concealer in a darker shade for cream bronzer. This specific one is from Dominique Cosmetics. It is such a good concealer, and you guys can see hella pigmented. Okay, I applied way too much, so I definitely have to give it a try one more time, and I'll just keep in mind to use less product. But this worked really well, and because it's a concealer, I feel like it gave a little bit of coverage too, which is weird to say, but so beautiful. I definitely highly recommend trying a concealer or your favorite concealer in a darker shade as a cream bronzer because this worked out so well. For concealer, I decided to go in with the Huda Beauty. This is the Faux Filter Concealer, a really great full coverage concealer. I use mine in the shade Nougat. I like this concealer a lot. I also loved her previous one, which was called the Overachiever Concealer. So both are amazing. To set underneath my eyes, I wanted to use a different powder. So I didn't use my collab powder. I decided to go in with this one from Dominique Cosmetics. But before I do that, I decided to go in with a little bit of Rare Beauty blush. You guys, this color is so beautiful. All the product details are going to be down below in the description box, but how stunning. Now, I was being lazy and I used the bronzer brush for my blush to blend it out, which I always do, but I think because I used the concealer has so much coverage that it got stuck on the brush, and so the blush wasn't as bright as usual, but I ended up fixing it with the powder blush that I'm going to apply, but that's what happened in that situation. So now I'm setting underneath my eyes with the Dominique Cosmetics powder, a really pretty finely milled powder that really blurs the pores and blurs your under eyes. It is just phenomenal. And then to set the rest of my face, I'm going to go in with the Makeup Forever powder. You guys know I love this powder. Really nice if you want to add some extra coverage to your foundation. For bronzer, I'm going in with the Jaclyn Hill Cosmetics bronzer in the shade Skinny Dip. A really beautiful bronzy color. It is perfection. It's my cup of tea. It's giving bronze goddess. Such a fabulous formula. And then for blush, I use this Patrick Top blush to give those cheeks that pink flush again. So moving into the lower lash line, I only got half of this footage. This is where the footage kind of gets a little bit wonky and the lip portion and like the highlighting and all that stuff kind of just like deleted on its own. But you guys can see here, I went in with a little bit of a P. Louise base in purple just as a base underneath the eyeshadow. Then I went in with purple eyeshadow. And then I just continued with the same color. So I went back in with the deepest blue. And then I also topped it off with that beautiful lime green shade, which was just stunning. And the whole point of this process is just to make sure that the lower lash line and the upper part of the eye just kind of mesh really well together. And like I said, I didn't get the waterline or the inner corner highlights. So that basically completes the look. I'm so sorry. It wasn't me. It was the SD card. But nonetheless, I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.